Tim Albright with AVNation with an AVNation special. The Road to ISE, Integrated Systems Europe, comes your way the 10th through the 13th of May. And with me to talk about Jetbuilt stand, Mr. Paul Dexter from Jetbuilt. Welcome, sir.
Thanks so much, Tim. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. You guys are in Hall 2, K as in kangaroo 400, 2K400. Paul, we've hung out you and I have hung out in London, but we've seen your stand and booth a number of times.
Yes.
Somebody that's not familiar, when we walk into the stand of Jetbuilt at ISE, what are we going to find?
Well, you'll be greeted with open arms. No, we'll show you what JetBuilt can have to offer you. JetBuilt's a sales quoting tool and meant to cut your quoting time in half or more. In fact, we just did a big case study with the Solotech, who said it's saving us at least 50% of our quoting time and much more on larger projects. So we kind of show you how to match what they've seen in JetBuilt and get more done faster.
So talk for a second. I mean, you have a unique background in work. So if somebody's not familiar with the software side of JetBuilt, kind of tell folks kind of how you started. You were doing installations and integrations in LA, noticing that some of the inconsistency in quoting, and then you kind of developed JetBuilt based on that.
Yeah, I was installing AV systems for about 20 years through the 2000s, 2010s, and I couldn't find a platform that would work for me to quote in. I mean, I could use Excel and Word, and that's what many companies use. I tried a couple of kind of what I call the legacy software, Windows installed applications, and nothing had the power I was looking for. So I built something out of FileMaker Pro with my full database of products, and my girl in my office would keep the pricing updated based on the price sheets we would get, and I could just search for a white ceiling speaker, and here they are, and then drop it in, and here's what I pay, and so forth, and then I could spit out a graceful proposal, a quote, and after doing that for 10 years and maintaining my FileMaker database and waiting for someone to come along and build a tool in the cloud that could do all of this, I finally gave up and decided to build it myself. So I hired a couple of developers. We built it on Ruby on Rails, and we launched in 2015, InfoComm. And by the following February, we were at ISE in 16. And we've been growing around the world ever since, providing that same tool, connecting dealers with their dealer pricing, whether it's through direct or distribution, and then creating this graceful and not just pretty, but clear and easy for clients and end users to understand, decipher exactly what is this project, what is this equipment, how does it work, the scopes of work, all of it really organized really well. So we've got a kind of a knack for doing that. So it's the speed in quoting, but the kind of a winning proposal output.
Awesome. Talk for a second about the differences between the two markets, where you got, obviously here in the States, not to be simplistic, but in the States, you've got dollars, and in the European Union, you've got euros, different parts and stuff like that. But what are some of the other differences between the two markets?
Yeah, well, it's funny. There's more and more differences as we learn. We came into the EU market, like I said, in 2016, but it was just kind of getting our feet wet, understanding. Every time I'm at ISE, I take the time to go to Germany, UK, and learn from more integrators the methods that they work in. Certainly the purchasing methods are drastically different than what we see in the States. But even the quoting differences and the personality, and then the way labor is attached, the way labor is taxed or not, and of course VAT and everything else. We've learned over the last 4 or 5 years so many of those differences, but it wasn't until last summer when we met Gordon Dutch and began working with him. He's heading our EMEA kind of efforts, and he kind of shed the light on even more we could be doing. For one thing, we're now doing translations, so you can output your proposal in German and in French, and as well as British English, so it doesn't feel American for sure. But so the language barrier, but even the currencies, like you said, here in the States, we're buying everything in dollars and selling everything in dollars primarily. Canada, Mexico can be a little different, but in throughout Europe, you're buying and selling across multiple currencies. on every project. It seems like, I mean, whether a UK integrator, they may be buying a lot in pounds, maybe some in euro, but even some in USD, and then selling it yet in a fourth currency. So JetBuilt really handles all of that. Just very easy. You define the selling currency, and you can buy across all of your multiple currencies. And when you type an item in, I'm looking for a Crestron processor, they'll see right here, well, you can buy it in USD for this. You're going to have to account for some shipping. You can buy it in pounds for this, and you can buy it, from such and such distributor for this. So we really give all these options based on every integrator's unique buying personalities.
And I will say, being on this side of that, what you're doing is you're saving, and you're what by leveraging JetBuild, you're buying a lot of time back, and that's something that we
Yeah.
can't get more of. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, the time savings usually far more than pays for JetBuilt outside of everything else, just the savings in time.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Paul. Again, you guys are in 2K400, 2K400, but not everybody's going to go to ISE. So if they don't go and they want to find out more about JetBuilt and follow along, how do they do that?
Yeah, just look us up at jetbuilt.com, jetbuilt.com, and it'll convert into whatever country and language you happen to be in, and look us up, and then reach out. There's videos that shows you how the product works, but there's also buttons to connect you to a local rep. We've got Dave in the UK that handles demos all throughout Europe, and then Matthew here for the States.
All right, very good. Paul Dexter from JetBuild, thank you so much. We'll see him at ISE. You can follow along with us as well as we go to ISE the 10th through the 13th of May. Go by our website, AVNation.tv. That's AVNation.tv. And check out all the videos from ISE 2022. All that and more at AVNation.tv. That's AVNation.tv.